Let's go talk about it, shall we? I was off, it was my day off and I was kind of like having fun and chilling and everything like that. And we don't have just one video, we have two videos about the the whole Sykkuno thing. So the Sykkuno files just dropped, and then we have apparently the situation has gotten worse too as well for Sykkuno. Of course, WestJet has uploaded a video. So I know that Mujin uploaded a video literally like an hour and a half or so, or 2 hours and a half or something like that, for the video to upload. And I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know about this one. I'm not a huge fan of it, like almost like this or so, for it to be instantly dropped or so for the video, honestly. Uh if WestJet has done his research and everything like that, I'm kind of curious to see, because I've heard that Mujin is getting a little bit of blowback. The girl as well that's accusing Sykkuno is also getting blowback as well. Because apparently there has been a video that has been leaked or so where Sykkuno was talking to the girl and everything. That video got released. I saw that one too. I don't know if it's going to be in this specific topics or so, because this was just recently. So I'm very curious to see what actually happened. Am I surprised that Sykkuno is being a playboy? No, not really. I'm not surprised at all, to be honest. So I know that the topic is that he cheated on his girlfriend, which is pretty shitty in my personal opinion, not gonna lie. But apparently there's some miswords that are being thrown around that kind of waters down, they're basically calling him a predator and all this other stuff and everything. It's getting a little bit thrown out of the window or so, which is kind of pretty stupid in my personal opinion. For me where I stand at or so is basically like, am I surprised that he's a playboy or whatever, the handsome looking anime protagonist dude or so? No, I'm not, because VR chat has taught me a lot, to be honest. And my mom has taught me a lot to always avoid these kinds of guys overall. Thank you, mom, of course. She has given me her words of wisdom. Because Mugen sides with the homewrecker. That's why he got flack. Yeah, that's what I heard too as well. Like I said, there's a little bit more to it, but I'm curious to see if he'll talk about it. If not, I'll talk about it a little bit more or so at the very end. And yeah. So let's go take a look and see what's going on or so. Also, plot twist. I saw a video of Sykkuno before he became a streamer. So for those who haven't seen it yet, Sykkuno looks completely 1000% different or so. Man was fucking looks maxing like no tomorrow, chat. Like literally no tomorrow.
Massive day for the unemployed. The Sykkuno files just dropped and it's insane. Big Google Docky. Don't know who Sykkuno is? He's one of the Chinese streamers who would play Among Us with Pokimane during the past.
Pre-stream Sykkuno was chopped as fuck. Yeah, and Lily Pichu, man, dude. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. Lily Pichu basically platformed Sykkuno. Yeah, so because if I remember correctly, Sykkuno came to Lily Pichu with a bouquet of roses, and then I guess they kind of like formed some kind of mutual friendship or something like that. Kaiju, thank you for the 5 months or so. And basically Lily Pichu actually platformed Sykkuno because she had the connections or so to a lot of the big streamers. So yeah, at the end of the day, you can be a streamer, but it doesn't fucking matter unless you're lucky as fuck that your content shows in front of everybody or you have connections to the bigger streamers. That's basically how it works in this industry.
Pandemic.
That's crass.
In this video, we'll be looking at the Google Docky, the video that Mujin made in collaboration with the victims, as well as some responses from other streamers, so stay tuned.
I just thought, yo, he's gonna the GOAT.
Because it's about to get disappointing. On Valentine's Day of this year, I was followed on Twitter by Sykkuno. I thought it was amazing that such a big content creator even knew I existed, let alone followed me on social media. He had been my role.
I also have like one big, apparently, like I didn't know about this, but I have like one big content creator who follows me too as well. She's a big content creator. She follows me on Twitter. I didn't know about this. Granted, I don't really know much about her to begin with, right? Because I'm kind of like busy and doing my own thing or whatnot. And I didn't really think of it. I didn't think of much of it, to be honest, because I don't really look up like who they are to begin with. I think I looked her up. I think like way later, so like many months later, because she popped up on my feed or so randomly, and I looked at her and I was like, oh, it's a big content creator. Huh, never knew. Okay, anyways, that was that was just kind of like basically it though.
Model and someone I looked up to for a long time ever since my days in high school. I love the way this Chinese guy lied to all these women and gaslit them in Among Us. No wonder he was so good at Among Us. He was an imposter. Sykkuno is not the kind, soft-spoken character you see on stream. He is a serial cheater, liar, and manipulator who uses his status to get what he wants from as many women as possible. More specifically, the ones who are smaller up or up-and-coming content creators, knowing he can take advantage of them. Below, you will find evidence that will expose his calculated pattern of love bombing and manipulation, as well as a recording of a voice call where he explicitly admits to all the wrongdoings and everything. This dude is 34 years old.
What the fuck? What? Whoa. Whoa, he's 34? Damn. That's crazy. I never knew that, to be honest. Hey man, that looks maxing going insane, not gonna lie. Does he also snort the crack too, and does bone smashing too as well?
How is he still an e-boy, bro?
But what made him
That is so true. Wait a minute. Hold up a second. Wait a second. You're 34 years old and you're doing e-boy stuff? Oh my goodness gracious me, man. You are a lost cause. Child, you are such a lost cause, to be honest. Holy shit, dude. You can't be serious with me, dude. Brother, you're 34, man. You're 34, bro. Stop it. Stop it. Come on, dude. Oh my goodness gracious me. That is wild to hear this, to be honest.
really desirable is just how socially awkward he was. He was innocent in an endearing way. He was a boy failure that needed a woman to fix him. In a nutshell, he was this picture, almost allergic to other women. He just couldn't handle anything romantic. He would get
Maybe he's probably gay, to be honest. maybe he's just gay. Maybe he just doesn't like women, you know? maybe.
too flustered.
Never trust a dude that covers their mouth when they laugh. Our first conversation. After Valentine's Day, I was so excited about him following me that I told a friend who then urged me to strike up a conversation. I finally worked up the courage to send him a DM and he replied right away. Are you still looking for a Valentine's date, perhaps? Sabrina Carpetbomb. What? You can't just open up with something like that. And besides, Valentine's Day is almost over where I'm from already. I mean, we can always do a Valentine's Day do-over, you know?
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? What the hell? That's so weird. What?
And then this 34-year-old man invited me to play games with him. In the first conversation, he brought up what kind of games he liked to play and invited me to play with him after a convention. Oh, do you want to play Eureka Legends? You know, so far it doesn't look bad. He says he can heal her with a healing kit and asks her what games she plays. I play it, but I'm pretty bad. Can you carry me, lol? I play Overwatch a little, but I'm most useful on Tor, hiding behind a turret, but they nerfed that apparently. Asking a girl to carry you in game is crazy work, but let's move on. After some more boring conversations about gaming, they moved on. Interest in where I live.
That is such a
For
weird
context,
conversation.
this is still the same day as the first conversation. Oh my, that's crazy. Only moved to Discord at a few hours apart since I'm EU time zone and he's US time zone. Things started out innocently enough with him inquiring about fun things to do where I live, such as aquariums and conventions. TwitchCon EU specifically. I'd like to point out that I said we could go on a date and make up for Valentine's. He not once expressed to me any discomfort or that he wasn't single. You wouldn't get it. Sykkuno's married to the game. So then he did the unforgivable thing of following her private Instagram. I also learned that there is a 15-year age gap between us. Yo, is this person f***ing because, bruh, you DM'd him first. I don't know. The math ain't mathin' for this one. Making
Yeah,
plans.
because she's the one that made the move to him first to begin with, if I remember, you know.
To move in together. With Sykkuno, our relationship moved so incredibly fast it almost felt like a dream.
I don't know if I would personally move in with somebody if the relationship moves that fast, in my personal opinion.
It was like he could make anything I wanted happen, and as someone as prolific and successful as him, I had no reason to doubt anything he said to me. Girl, what? He's the Among Us guy. You can't be trusted. Even if he's joking. 2 days of knowing someone talking about getting a cat together? Crazy work. We had known each other barely for a few days, and this 34-year-old man was already expressing interest in moving in together to live in the same house.
That's pretty
How you gonna
funny.
DM him first and then age shame him? Put some respect on his name. He used a VTuber when talking to Bernie Sanders, and yes, that's true. In this
What?
screenshot, Sykkuno said
That's
he's only ever
crazy.
had one relationship in his entire life. I would eventually found out that was a lie, and he's been dating and living in the same house as his girlfriend for years, and I was not the only girl on the internet that he spoke to on a daily basis. Why are you shocked? This dude is 34. He saw the towers fall and he was old enough to cry. I've only actually dated someone once and they broke up with me, so yeah, I think I'm just not very good, so it's probably just a me issue. We texted every single day, and these interactions would be charged with flirting and suggestive topics. I would send him suggestive pictures and audios, and he would confirm that he had himself to them. Additionally, he'd always act flustered and inexperienced, keeping up the illusion on his stream innocent persona. Oh, that's a nice backside you got that yet while he's covering his mouth or something. On top of texting, we also called almost every day, even after he'd streamed for 8 hours. I now realize he was quiet because his girlfriend lived with him and he didn't want her to hear. Hey, don't let your girlfriend stop you from finding your wife.
Because in reality, behind this mirage, this illusion, there was a master manipulator, a serial cheater, and a predator.
Okay,
I don't think so. So this is what one of my friends told me, right? My friend told me, it was like, maybe he wasn't like this at the very start. Maybe once the fame got to him, maybe it got to his head or so to be able to, like, you know, he's a good looking guy or so. He's got all these women flaunting over to him and everything like that, you know? And it soon got to him and whatnot. So I'm just kind of like, maybe, but maybe at the same time, maybe he was lying the entire time. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm just, you know, it's just kind of like because, you know, we were talking about this, the whole Sykkuno thing, and, you know, we were just coming up with like different things or so. It's just kind of like, what do you expect? I'm like, I told him, I was like, what do you expect at the end of the day? I'm like, you know, wait, did he actually have sex with any of them, or is it just sex text? I don't fucking know. We're gonna learn right now. That's why we're learning right now.
predator is a pretty big word. What did he do? Did he do a jungle clear and forget the scuttle crab? That's punishable by death in China, by the way.
What he would somehow forget to tell them, though, is that he had been in a monogamous relationship since 2021. But you don't have to take my word for it, because he admits to everything in a recorded voice call with the victim herself.
Patience, guys. We'll get to the call.
Shit, dude. Even being in a voice call with somebody, you're gonna get recorded? That's kind of wild, dude. It is kind of weird, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Christ, I know you guys don't need that much stimulation. Come on. Whoa, he sent her $81 to buy her the new Resident Evil game. Now they're talking about working out together and going on gym dates. And yeah, like fun helping each other out during workouts.
A predator.
Okay, this one's absolutely crazy work. I haven't dated much, so you have me now. My XP bar is low. Oh, that's some crazy.
My XP bar is low. Yo, can I see that? Is that how you riz up girls these days? Man, dude. Man, maybe I should use that catch line. Maybe that's how I get some girls, maybe, you know. Or maybe I'll go up to a guy or something and be like, no, what would I use for a guy or so? I don't know what I would use for a guy, actually. And that only works for a guy on girl. Damn it, dude. Never mind. I thought I was gonna use it on a guy too as well, but then I'm just kind of like, oh no, wait, that's a penis joke. Never mind. Never mind. I don't think the guy would be into that, to be honest.
Oh, that's some crazy work, and people were kind of clouding this for he cheated for East. Are you serious? Oh no, even in the call, this dude is still doing the voice. Holy,
doing the voice?
Your riz of the century. That was low-key hard as hell. You know, I kind of wondered if you've ever yourself while watching what I send you. What?
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Bro said maybe. I want a yes or a no. Yes, of course I have. How could I not? Sugar daddy. Less than a month later, Sykkuno would randomly ask for my PayPal account in DMs, then he'd waste no time in sending me money unprompted, something that I'd later realize was simply a behavioral pattern that he'd employ with women he'd express interest in. I want to reiterate, I have never asked him for his money, and he did this on his own volition. He bought me both a gym jacket, linked below, Resident Evil 9, because I expressed interest in the game. Hate to be that guy, but you could have returned the money if you didn't want it, so why is this even a point? Oh, here...
Even then, she calls him a sugar daddy, right? But if you go back, right? If you go back specifically, it's only like, what is that, 200 pounds and 81 pounds? So I'm like, it's not really that much. Calling him a sugar daddy is a little bit of a stretch in my personal opinion, but that's just me anyways.
Here comes trouble, make it double. A calculated
Heroes.
pattern of love bombing and manipulation. After speaking to
Potato,
Elf
potato.
and Leia a couple days ago, we were both able to corroborate our experiences with Sykkuno and learned that we were both victims of his. Okay, the biggest crime I see is the Hotmail. Sykkuno is known...
Oh my god, he uses Hotmail? Holy shit, dude. Wow, that is a blast from the past, I'm not gonna lie. Holy shit. Dude, he uses Hotmail. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. That is old. God damn, this man is an unk. I ain't gonna lie, to be honest. Holy shit, dude. Holy fuck, man. Oh my goodness gracious me, man. Oh my god, Hotmail. Sykkuno is an unk confirmed. Holy shit. Dude, I use Gmail. That's what I use. This man is still using Hotmail like it's back in the fucking 2000s. Early 2000s. Oh my god, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. My god, dude.
to send hundreds of dollars to the girls he wants to get involved with. This screenshot is from when he took my friend Alpha Leia to Paris during the 2025 TFT
I still
tournament,
have
along
Yahoo,
with sending her
but, like, that's
500
only for, like,
euros to
certain
help her
other
move into a
stuff,
new
though.
apartment. Unk is down bad, paying for Based on the messages, they seem pretty happy to take money from him and like go on trips and stuff.
At 100,000 viewers in one stream, he was gaining 500,000 followers every single month.
And he couldn't even drop a band on the hose.
That Sykkuno had the highest female demographic fan base compared to any other streamer, her included.
I wonder why. I wonder why. I wonder why, huh? I wonder why. I wonder why he has the highest female demographic, huh? Kind of odd, you know, in my personal opinion, you know. I'm just saying, you know. Kind of a little bit odd.
He's basically a performative male phenotype, and all these women fell for it.
It would also allow him to be one of the only male streamers to constantly be able to hang out with a majoritarily female friend group without him or them getting in trouble with their fan bases due to jealousy.
Girls would straight up ask him, why are you single? And he's like, I play too many video games. I have to play Jack's top lane. Wait, not that kind of predator.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
As Alpha Leia spoke with Sykkuno, she'd tell him about rumors that she heard from someone else about how Sykkuno had a roster of readily available women and how they all coincidentally were smaller content creators who wouldn't dare touch him if something went wrong. What are they scared of? Is he gonna ban them from the Among Us tournament? Ooh, Sykkuno's girlfriend. The coincidence would lead me to finding out the truth about Sykkuno happened last week. A popular male VTuber tried to slide in my DMs to presumably get in my pants, and when I rejected him, he immediately started to mention rasty rumors about Bao. Bao. Out of concerns.
That's funny. That's pretty funny. If there are some rumors or so about Bao, would I be surprised? No, I would not be surprised. Would I be surprised if there's rumors for any of the big popular streamers? I'd be like, it's just another Tuesday, to be frankly honest.
For her, I reached out to a mod who then connected me with Bao. The three of us struck up a conversation. When I mentioned I was nervous about a date I was going on, they asked me who it was. When I said my date was Sykkuno, they immediately told me not to go on the date for my own personal safety.
Safety is number one priority.
So this is Sykkuno's girlfriend. I've lived with him for over 2 years. We have been together since 21. Everything he's planning with you are things we planned together and talk about and have done. I'm sorry. What
Damn.
many of these women didn't know is that he'd always lie about the fact that he's single, that behind the scenes he had a neglected and depressed girlfriend that he'd been with since 2021 and who has lived with him since 2024 in the same house. I mean, he's kind
What in the shenanigans? Are you serious? What? What? Are you telling me what?
of a dickhead. Cheating is cringe, but like
Yeah,
predator
it's
might
pretty
be a
bad.
stretch.
Yeah.
Master manipulator and dangerous predator looks inside. My face went PNG. And then the girl who exposed him dropped the I am beyond disappointed in you.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Immeasurable. If my day is ruined.
And my day is ruined.
Oh, and the call. Holy 17-minute call. Jesus.
That's it. Like,
What's it?
probably never talking again.
You and me?
Yes.
This. Okay. I want you guys to pay attention to this call chat. Pay attention to this. Sykkuno doesn't want to talk to her anymore, saying that proposing like we shouldn't talk anymore. She laughs. But take a listen to this. When I heard about this, I'm gonna be honest with you. Damn, dude, that's crazy, dude. Am I surprised? No, I am not surprised. But this also makes Mujin look bad as well, to be honest, because he sided with her specifically. When this popped out or so, everyone was questioning Mujin so hard because of this.
What? Why?
Is that not why?
What is why? I'm still upset with you, but you didn't cheat on me. You can still talk to me and be, like, make up for your actions. Don't get me wrong, because I always am there for second chances. But I never will forgive you for cheating on her. That's...
I'm just as confused as all of you. He's saying they don't want to talk anymore, and she's like, nah, you can still talk to me, but I don't forgive you.
telling me how you wanted me to come visit you in Vegas, and how you wanted to go on a date, and how you were serious about me, and how you really meant it, and how you wanted to go get a cat together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, the dude lives in Vegas or something? I didn't even knew about that, to be honest. Gives off yandere vibes. You know, the funny thing about it, if you literally check on her Twitter page or so, and you scroll down or so, she like posts is like her in like lingerie or something like that, to be honest. She still wants him? Yes, she still wants him. The crazy girl that quotation marks exposed him or so, quote unquote exposed him, like straight up still wants him. So it's just kind of like, I'm just kind of like, bitch, you fucking crazy, man. I'd be, if I was Sykkuno, if I was in the position of Sykkuno, I'd be like, fuck no, baby. Fuck no. You crazy. She's actually straight up fucking crazy, to be honest. She's actually crazy to be saying this right now at this very moment. That's why a lot of people are like against Mujin right now because of this. This makes Mujin look bad. Like, no joke. It makes Mujin look really, really, really bad.
Why? Why didn't you just break off the relationship then?
Because a combination of remembering how it was, some part of me hoping it would go back to that, and...
Well, obviously it's not going to go back to that if you're actively cheating on her.
Not defending Sykkuno, but this person sounds stuck up as hell.
It's only going to get worse. I think that's really on you, bud. And I know you're smarter than that.
I'm not.
I mean, for fuck's sake, you're a 34-year-old man. Yes, you are. Stop acting like you're a child.
His age isn't some kind of mystery. You chose to DM this 47-year-old man.
You knew damn
That's
well in the back of
true.
your head that wasn't going to end up well.
Yeah.
I also find it funny how these random e-girls came out with this and not, you know, the girlfriend who he cheated on. Sykkuno's friends are all coming out saying it's disappointing, which, to be fair, it is. Cheating is cringe. You're the lowest of the low if you do it.
It's really not. Cheating is just bad. She hasn't done anything to ask for it to be cheated on.
Yes, I will be honest with you. Cheating is pretty bad. Like, honestly, like him getting exposed that he cheated on his girlfriend is pretty shitty or so, and how he has like a line of women or so, basically, you know, doing all that stuff. That's when I commented underneath that specific post itself, right? I was just kind of like, Am I surprised that he did something like this? No. I'm like, no. Am I fucking surprised? No, I'm not fucking surprised. I just said, I wonder who the next one is going to be. that's basically is what I posted on Twitter. So when I replied to the Google Docu, I was like, it's my day off, you know, it's my day off weekend. I don't got time to read this shit. Okay, I'll come back when I'm streaming or so. Okay, we'll look into it, you know, and that's kind of like basically it for me.
Pretty cut and dry. You can still talk to me and be like, make up for your actions. Exactly. So there's still no excuse for you to cheat on her.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I'm just as confused as all of you. But you can still talk to me if you want. You know, no big deal. Maybe we could play some Among Us with your.
This kind of proves or so that a lot of certain VTubers are just bad shit crazy. And also, Mujin response to Powder was kind of nuts. I don't even know what even's going on there. I'm not gonna lie, Mujin is getting some questionable flack. Not gonna lie, to be honest. This also explains why Bao doesn't do anything with him. I bet you she was one of Sykkuno's side pieces. I would be curious too as well, you know. I know that like they said that you should be, there was a lot of people on Twitter saying that you should apologize to Bao. I'm still holding Bao accountable because at the end of the day, if she knew about this, you kind of have to raise an eyebrow a little bit. And then also on top of that, she kind of labeled all guys, you know. If she said certain guys or in general or something like that, then it'd be a different story. But the problem is she kind of basically labeled every single guy being, you know, like I said, I'm not going to apologize to her specifically because I still hold accountable, because at the end of the day, you have a big platform. You have to be careful what you're saying. And at the end of the day, you know, you have to be as descriptive as much as possible, you know. So in this day and age, if you're not very descriptive of what you're saying, or you're not carefully choosing the right words to say, well, you know, what do you expect?
Other friends. This stuff was pretty silly. The debunker had to chime in.
It's not a tactic if the person is asking for... Brother, it's not a tactic about money. If the person is asking for money and baits to receive money, you cannot say this. It has to be unprompted, unwarranted. It has to be, and even if it has to be
the debunker
after reluctance and resistance. That's the moment where it would be wrong. If the business, well, I don't think I should be taking this, and you still do it, wrong.
You know, stuff is.
You know, the only thing, the thing that I know so far is that he's speaking slower than usual. To be frankly honest, I usually hear him going super fast. This is kind of crazy for me to understand XQC.
Is really unemployed when XQC starts to make sense.
Love bombing me, dude. F off. Just
And I
stop
think
it.
one thing that
Again, XQC is correct. These women don't show any reluctance to taking his money, so the fact that they think this is a gotcha is a bit of a flaw. Summary. Fake scumbag e-boy turns out to be a pest expected, and clout-chasing e-girls can't take accountability for themselves so easily because they wanted attention from someone rich and famous.
Yeah, that's basically is what it is, or so in a nutshell, you know. That's basically is what it is. I'm like, when I know about the first part or so, right? About the, you know, him basically faking and then he's basically an e-boy or so, it's just kind of like, I'm not surprised. So, yeah.
Expected.
Yeah.
He's not a predator.
Yeah.
You don't have to sensationalize it.
Yeah.
You all just acted like ghouls trying to use each other.
Yeah.
Lily Pichu also chimed in saying, I feel like I don't really know who people are and it's a lot to unpack. I try to believe in people, but I've ended up disappointed so many times. I'm becoming more closed off. I'm taking a few days off. See you guys later. Stay safe. Stay comfy. I'm not even going to say his friends turned on him because the dude straight up cheated. Like, you know, whatever. I don't really care that a streamer cheated on his girlfriend, and I don't understand why everyone else is pretending they do either.
You're wrong about the Sykkuno situation. It was between two consenting adults. You can't be mad at two consenting adults. I don't understand why you're upset.
This was like Hiroshima 2 for the Asian girls. It was devastating. But Predator? Really? Piece of sure. Asshole? Definitely.
Yeah.
But let's not just throw these words around.
Yeah, people calling him a predator is so out of line in my personal opinion. It's just ridiculous. It's just a dude who cheated on his girlfriend, which is a pretty shitty scumbag move, not gonna lie, you know. He started going after these like e-girls, right? These e-thoughts. You know, and And that's kind of like basically it. It's nothing really like revolutionary. It's like they've never seen. It's like they've never seen a soap opera or something like that, you know, in their entire life. For God's sakes, I've seen telenovelas, for God's sakes, that are more fucking crazier than this, you know.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah. This is a glazer. The guy who makes this video is a glazer. Like, this guy coordinated the release of this video because he's a big ass fucking glazer. Like, this is just, it's uncharitable. Like, it's not manipulative yet.
Nerdy gamer boy facade to lure women into a false narrative.
Also, one of the girls was straight up telling him she doesn't have money and she used the crying emoji.
I need money. I need money. You getting money? Oh my god! Don't do that! Stop it!
You know what I just noticed? That's the same symbol or so for the money that they're from or so. Maybe he's got a thing for, you know, European girls. Maybe he does have a thing for European girls. I just don't understand. It's just kind of like, if you're not happy in the relationship, just break it off and go with one of the European girls over there, you know. I'm just saying, you know, if that's what you want, you know. So high school drama, it is pretty much high school drama, except it's a fucking 40-year-old man or so, you know, being a e-boy or so in this day and age. I ain't gonna lie, I thought that shit died a long time ago, to be frankly honest. My lord, dude. Jesus Christ, I can't believe that is still a thing even in today's day and age in 2026.
XQC was not a fan of this Mujin video. He was calling him a glazer and their beef was escalating. He was so pressed for some reason, he even left a comment. Let's check it out. If he can only date people that are as or more famous than he is, then who could he have dated during his peak era? There were literally 0 creators who would qualify for that. Please clarify. He could have dated Pokimane, his girlfriend. He could have simply dated his girlfriend that he lived with and not lied to her for over 5 years while playing dating simulator with every female content creator in existence. But sure, man. Let's instead farm clips calling cheating based. Real classy.
I just thought, yo, he's kind of the GOAT.
So this old clip resurfaced of XQC giving Sykkuno advice back in the day, and it aged like fine wine.
You could get a girlfriend a date for like a whole year if you just... What? Yeah, man. Chat. I trained the man well, chat. Guys. I gave him some golden advice, and he took it to heart, man. What can I say?
Oh, it's almost...
Jesus Christ, I swear.
Almost like 2 things can be true at once. The girls that exposed him are weird, and he's also a piece of for cheating. Crazy. If you made it this far, you're forced to subscribe to my channel because we both know you're unemployed as hell and you fit right in.
We're not done yet. We still got more.
Massive day for the unemployed.
It's not over yet.
The Sykkuno situation
it's not over.
is escalating. A bunch of his friends came in and gave their opinions, such as Pokimane here, Valkyrie, XQC chimed in, and more. Missed my last video because you have a job and a life? No worries. Basically, Sykkuno got a Google Doc dropped on him by a girl, alleging him of some crazy stuff, like cheating. And not in Among Us, God forbid. How it sounds to feel disappointed but no longer surprised.
They're all just farming engagement. That's all it is to it. They're just trying to be in the algorithm. That's all it is to it. I know these tactics.
What the actual f did you just say to me right now?
Bro said, at the end of the day, a golden retriever is still a dog. Brutal. And then Pokimane chimed in.
Elephant in the room.
The Iran war, the gas prices, and the Epstein.
Obviously, yes, I did talk to Sykkuno.
That's it.
And obviously, yes, he did tell me everything. And obviously, yes, I should not have tweeted that I was disappointed.
Well, obviously, yes.
Because it just gave a lot of ammo to a lot of angry people. And so, but yeah, he knows that I was gonna mention it today, and he told me everything. And
contrary to popular belief on Twitter, apparently, it's perfectly fine to say you're disappointed in somebody for cheating on their girlfriend. That's normal.
I am disappointed, as I have been with a lot of my friends in the past, and I'm sure I've also been disappointing to a lot of my friends as well, so.
At the ripe age of 34, Twitch streamer discovered what it means to be human.
You can't say this guy's a predator, okay? And also, he cheated. And the main thing by being a predator is that he cheated. Well, no, how about we attack one topic at a time, right? If you make the claim predator, let's focus on that, and I'll address the cheating later. I don't give a shit. At that point, it's more of a.
He's not a predator. Okay, he's not a predator, you know, because the problem is the word with predator associates that you're going underage people. That's why. That's the term that is basically used, that their basic is being used. But it's just, the problem is people on the internet are pretty stupid. That's the reason why, you know, throwing these words that literally mean nothing now is just kind of like, you know.
Whether you're
Yeah, he's
personally
just a
hurt by
cheater.
somebody
He's
else
just a
or not,
scumbag
but
cheater. That's
completely
it.
understandable.
That's
A lot of
what I
people
call
didn't
it.
like the word predator.
Manipulator, cheater, predator, dogpiling, hashtag Me Too bullshitting. Bro, come on, bro. What's going on here? I would bet
He's just a
every
cheater.
single thing I have and my organs that this is some fucking bullshit. On God.
All roads apparently lead to Hassad, so XQC called out Valkyrie for not saying that Hassad was disappointing for zapping his dog. This guy's account, Gorilla said, "This is wearing Carhartt over a suit," and Hassad got upset and quote tweeted Gorilla.
XQC is your daddy. Dude, I know, bro. I know. XQC is so famous and so popular. He's so popular, and
He's aight, not bad for a French Canadian. Jesus Christ, she's reaching for the bottle. The internet has
Jesus
pushed her to her
Christ.
limit. That is her only
Oh
solace.
my
XQC
God.
hit me with a whataboutism, and then I'm getting karma'd for when I whataboutismed a year ago.
Whoa, Twitch streamer woman's a hypocrite and kind of retarded like crazy. Mind blown. Wow, I really don't give a single about any of this. Moving on.
What is up, guys? It's Sykkuno here.
I'll say it.
Yeah, so yeah, that's Sykkuno. So for those who don't know, this is what he looked like. This is pre-stream Sykkuno. This is like pre-era of like peak Sykkuno. So he's balding. I mean, not that much different. I'm like, man has a big forehead. I'm just saying. That's all I gotta say. You know, man got a big forehead. Okay, all right. Man losing hair over there. Okay, all right. Maybe he did when. Maybe Hassan hooked him up to Turkey or so and get him that hair transplant. I'm just saying, you know. And then he probably talked to Clavicular or so to get that looks maxing course, you know, to pull out his looks and everything. You know, I'm just saying, you know.
I'll say it first. Sykkuno, a manipulative cheater and a dickhead. Secondly, this girl is so mad that she ain't the main hoe, so she goes and exposes him. Yet in the YouTube video, she tries to stay in contact with him, and you can still talk to me and make up for your actions.
Yeah.
LMAO.
Yeah.
You can still talk
So
to
this is the reason why I don't make content immediately when it comes to some of these big drama issues that happens, you know? I always wait at least a day or two or so for like all of the information to get out, the leaks, the messages, the videos, or the recordings, or anything like that. And then, you know, you have certain content creators or so that put it all together and put a timeline or so specifically. And then, Lord and behold, you have this information. Because this wasn't out until I think the next day of the drama, or later that day of the drama. So that's the only reason why I don't, you know, I don't cover shit immediately. That's not that I don't do that here. We do our research around here.
me and be like, make up for your actions. Don't get me wrong, because I always am there for second chances.
I thought Sykkuno was gay. WTF. Here's the crazy one. One of the other Chinese streamers that played...
Dude, Cinnamon Toast Ken coming in here saying that I thought he was gay was probably the funniest thing. I thought so too. I thought he was gay as well. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought he was gay too, okay? All right? I didn't think he was actually like a person that would go after women, so... Wow, surprise shocker for me, to be honest.
He's Among Us with Sykkuno predicted this. It was crazy foreshadowing.
Drop the act, bro. I know. I see through you, okay?
Well, what do you think now?
Oh.
And then you realize he's just like this 24/7.
No, he's just really good at keeping it up. But one day he's gonna slip.
Oh! Damn, he fucking knew immediately that this guy was lying the entire time. Well, to be honest, I'm like, well, to be frankly honest, right? I never really like. I've seen like clips of him specifically, and I was just kind of like, ew. I was like, this is such an act or so. Like, I literally thought that this was just an act. You know, my two senses were like kind of like tingling or so. I'm like, this is totally not real. There's no way somebody acts like this. It's like this feels like all like an act or something. Especially because he's doing it on stream and everything. You know.
Read him like the minimap in Riga Legends. Even the big guy from OTV chimed in.
The only thing I really want to say is that I really don't condone cheating. I fucking hate it. But yeah, I'm super disappointed in what happened. I have not personally talked to Sykkuno in the last couple of days. Shocked he has a fucking girlfriend. He's been around this guy for 7 years. Never knew that.
What's next? Pokemon has a boyfriend? Yeah, I don't know how you can trust your friend if he's been hiding a girlfriend for 7 years. That's
How the fuck how do you hide a girlfriend that you have for 7 years and your boys don't even know that you have a girlfriend? That's kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, the video was it within an hour of the Google Docu being released? The Mujin one? Yeah, I didn't want to watch that one because it felt very scripted. So I was just kind of like, nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna watch that one. I'd rather watch WestJet's video on it, in my personal opinion.
insane, to be honest.
A predator.
So yeah, these people are they're so malleable. They're so predictable. Like it's so sad. You can predict the reaction that people are gonna have a mile away. It can be a week away. Bro, you know exactly how everything's gonna play out. Bro.
I agree. You know, it's easy to predict what these women are going to say, but also at the same time, I agree with them because, you know, it's okay to be disappointed in this. Pokemon should have just called Sykkuno a slur. She's like African, isn't she? Oh, more drama. Mujin is getting some flack back for his Sykkuno video.
Yeah, here it is. He's getting some flack or so at this very moment, you know. To be franco, I don't even know what's best, what my best friend has a girlfriend until he announced the wedding. Oh, really? Yeah, but the problem is you're friends with them, right? For like 7 years. 7 years, okay? 7 years, right? You hang out with each other consistently and everything. But then like you never knew he had a girlfriend. It's still kind of a little bit like, you know? With how Mujin handled this, he is compromised when journalistic integrity, he doesn't get all the evidence. Yeah. That is a problem as well, specifically on the whole situation. So that's why I didn't want to watch this video. Now there's a lot of doubt or so in maybe his previous videos too as well. So I'm just saying, you know, the whole situation is like sex without the orgasm. I need to smoke. Actually, he couldn't predict his girlfriend gonna say though. That is true.
As a girl came out. So this VTuber Powder came out. Ladies, you're not special. We're all special. Showing her talking to Sykkuno for 3 hours. Can you criticize him for cheating? Absolutely.
Yeah, of
but
course.
never once did I feel manipulated by this dude. He's a huge flirt, but I was incredibly aware of the power dynamic. Also, he was just friendly. He is quite forward with his riz, which I didn't like being around. Gave me player vibes. When he said his XP bar is low, yeah, that was hard. Am I going to flip out on him? No.
Yeah.
Usually when someone is like that, they're already talking to multiple people. I see some women trying to play victim as if they didn't have a brain in the situation. Also saw people throwing around the word predator. I think that's unreasonable. Mujin never really was a reliable narrator. If a larger creator who is friendly asks to play a game with you, would you say no? Mujin strike back. You could pause and read the whole thing, but I'm going to read the important part. Mujin was never really a reliable narrator, so when his video eventually comes out about me being canceled by my audience for secretly having dated a black guy, even though I keep saying that I can't stand minorities, please don't trust him. Damn, you're like really mad, lol. Also, stop fetishizing me in a mixed race relationship, you f***wad. Gross behavior. Attention moviegoers, there's a mixed race couple.
Wait, can I go back real quick? Hold on, that is pretty weird. Hold on. Let me go back a little bit. That is pretty weird. Okay, can you criticize him for cheating? Absolutely, but I had no viewers whatsoever and became desperate after trying everything to be relevant, so I chose to appeal to people who hate my gender in order to pay rent. Am I going to flip on a serial cheater who had sex with women without telling them that they'd be homewreckers? Of course not. Morals are an obstacle to my income. Mujin was never really rely on narrator. Da, 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 da. Also, English is my first language, and I have no idea that predator can mean a person or organization that uses weaker people for their own advantages. But it's okay. My audience is gobbles up anything I say anyway. Dumbass Sims Lamau. Jesus Christ. God damn, he really is mad. He really does sound very mad in this in this actual in his actual reply. Jesus. God damn, Mujin. My lord.
Strike
Take
back.
it
You
easy,
can pause and read the
bro.
whole thing, but it actually comes out about me being canceled by my audience. Don't trust him. Damn, you're like really mad, lol. Also, stop fetishizing me in a mixed race relationship, you f***wad. Gross behavior.
Attention moviegoers, there's a mixed race couple in the front row.
What is up, guys? It's Sykkuno here.
As soon as you said cheating, you're done. Like, that should have been the end of your sentence. Cheating is bad. Sykkuno is a bad person for cheating.
Yep, she nailed it. Then again, I'm not shocked that a woman is cooking.
That's it. Like,
What's it?
probably never talking again.
You and me?
No, him and John. I gotta be fair. When Mujin called Sykkuno a predator, he doesn't mean he's like Chinese Diddy or something. In my opinion, the word is a bit of a stretch. The worst thing Sykkuno did was omit details that kind of put these girls in an uncomfortable situation. No self-respecting bitch wants to be a side hoe.
It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's disappointing. It's sad. And I don't think that's really all I'm comfortable talking about. Right. If and when Sykkuno makes a statement, you guys can hear from him.
Even Tectone chimed in.
Listen, man, I had an uncle that cheated on my aunt.
Bro dropped a fun fact.
Did I cut him off? No. I still talk to both of them. And every single day I said, man, you fucked up. And the guy's fucking miserable. But did I cut him off because he did that? No. I tell him every day that he fucked up. And now he kind of understands what he did was wrong, which is great.
But that's your family, dog. This is just a Chinese streamer who plays Among Us. They're replaceable.
You want to know what they're talking about? Exactly what the public wants to hear. Because what I've been saying is the truth from day one. These people have no values. These people have no morals.
These people have no Genshin Impact baddies that are totally above the age of 18, I promise.
He's still
Wink,
in jail.
wink,
He's still in
nudge,
jail at the end of the
nudge. And
day.
even if they weren't, they're fiction.
AI Tectone and WestJet's videos will be going away.
No. One of the people about him warned and got harassed. Okay, fuck you.
God damn, XQC is popping off. Anyway, the person that initially exposed Sykkuno, to anyone who wants to make the claim I wanted to get back with him, here's us also agreeing to staying just friends since he didn't give me the consistency I needed. When I say I wanted something long-term and something committed, I meant that. I was giving him a second chance as my friend, but I can't be friends with someone who clearly doesn't learn from his actions. Sykkuno said, let's just be regular friends. If you want that just as friends, then that's okay too. It might take some time for me to get a little over, because obviously I still have feelings for you. The second the feelings left, the Google Docs appeared. You don't even...
Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh my god, dude. Bro, if I was Sykkuno, I'd be like, fuck no.
Gotta pick a side to see that everyone involved in this situation is a moron. Whoa, color me shocked. These two are being hypocritical? I would have never believed it. The internet should be thankful Hassan only zapped the dog because he's at a very Chinese part of his life. He might get hungry. Orange checkered pants. Proposition. If you want to help me make these sloppy ass videos, become a channel member. I'm relaunching the Discord where we can all gossip about Asmongold and Pokimane. For just 5 Canadian rupees, you get into our private Discord. Once you join, you'll be given a link to the Discord server. To be honest, I'm just a lazy piece of shit that wants people to send me clips, so I have to do even less work, but thank you for supporting the channel. Become unemployed today.
Hey, you can become unemployed today for $5.99 or $4.99 or whatever, you know, so... Mercury banned anyone who types Sykkuno's name in her chat, by the way. Bro wanted to bag all of the newest Genshin baddies. I love how all of these streamers are 30 plus, act like 20, but are forced to act 30 plus. But the Mujin crash out remains the most hilarious thing I have ever witnessed. Yeah, Mujin crashing out, man. Mujin had a big ass crash out for trusting the side chick. Yeah, he's having a crash out of the century right now at the very moment. So now everyone's kind of like raising it. But the Mujin crash out is still the funniest thing ever. Yeah, everyone seems to be calling out the Mujin thing, to be honest. So basically, E-girl is mad she didn't get promoted to the main girl. Pretty much, yeah. Basically, the side hoe was not the main hoe, you know? So that's basically it, so. And Pokimane had a purposeful nip slip, which was funny. Oh, I have no idea what that is, to be honest. Mujin wanted to get a piece of her booty. I don't know. Maybe she just came to him or so for like, you know, oh, I got this stuff or so to expose, you know, Sykkuno. And then he was probably like rubbing his hands and everything like that. And he was like licking his like lips or so. He's like, say more, man. Say more. What you got her? So let me expose. You know, let me expose. You know. So yeah. At the end of the day, it's still kind of like, am I surprised that Sykkuno cheated on his girlfriend? You know, big streamer pretending to be a shy anime protagonist that is scared of women. No, I'm not surprised, because at the end of the day, they're all putting on an act. Okay, all right. It's not surprising to me at all from the big streamers. Okay, all right. Come on, man. It's not really that fucking crazy, to be honest. And then also on top of that, she still wants to still talk to him and everything like that. Kind of fucking wild, in my personal opinion, you know? That's still kind of funny. So yeah, overall, that's basically is what I think about it. So when I said when I commented underneath the post itself, when I said like, am I surprised that this happened? No, I am not surprised that this happened. Question is, who will be the next one to get, you know, quotation marks, exposed from their fake character, you know? It's like the Emaru thing. Yeah. Money equals power equals leverage. It never missed. I'm like, the dude looked completely different in the past. Let me just remind you or so. And then now he looks like the way how he is now, because he was looks maxing and everything. So, and yeah, that's kind of like basically it. I'm like, Lily Peach is the one that platformed him at this point, you know, to that degree, you know, so because she had the connection, he brought him on board, she brought him on board, yeah, and then he got the exposure, and then, well, Lord and behold, look what you get. So his hairstyle just hit his forehead. I'm still saying at the end of the day, you know. So it is a 42-year-old man going balding. Okay, all right. He's just getting bald, just like Asmongold, Gold, you know. But yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe to all that fancy jazzy stuff. But yeah, overall, that's my personal opinion where I sit on it. I'm like, he's pretty fucked up or so for him cheating on his girlfriend for like who knows how many plus years or so. Pretty shitty, pretty scumbag move. Is he like, was he pretending, was he putting on this facade or so and faking, you know, being this innocent little boy or so, you know, and everything like that? No, I'm not surprised at all, to be honest. I'm like, the first time I saw a clip of him, I was just like, I was getting some weird vibes off of him specifically, and I was just kind of like, there's something really off about this guy. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it, but like, I'm like, there was something very off about him specifically. So the streamer group isn't upset he cheated. They're upset as Sykkuno made them look bad by proxy. I'm like, at the end of the day, you know, they could, you know, all these streamer friends could be not really your friends to begin with. So all the people involved in this are just chasing fame and fortune. Only victims in this are the actual girlfriend. She probably having a rough time. She probably is. She probably basically is, to be honest. If you want to be Nef boy, don't be in a relationship. Yeah, exactly. If you want to go mess around with girls and stuff like that because you have good looks and everything, just don't even be in a relationship to begin with, you know? I'm like, that's kind of like basically it though. I like, that's probably like rule number one of being an e-boy or a fuck boy. You know, if you want to mess around with girls and everything, don't be in a relationship so the girl doesn't get hurt. I'm just saying. But hey, you know what do I know, right? What the fuck do I know, right? I'm just an old woman looking at these kids or so, and I'm just kind of like shaking my head at them. I'm like, not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. A streamer group gives me weird vibes. I don't know. For me specifically, I just kind of like do my own thing. I do not do any facades. I don't do an act or anything like that. If I do an act or so, you guys will like, I'll be like, you know, you guys will probably understand. If you hang out around here for a pretty long time or so, you guys will see that I'm like acting or so. I'm putting on a facade or so. But it's very few in between. but you're generally gonna get like the normal me, the way how I am at the end of the day. So, but yeah. Anyways, so Sykkuno, shitty person, but is he a predator? No. Mujin crashing out because he choosing the side hoe, I guess, you know. So it is what it is. Anyways, that's the end of the video, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I just kind of like find all of this pretty funny in my personal opinion. Nah, you're too straightforward, Co. You can act. Your mama can act here every single night with a straightforward dick down her throat. Anyways, goodbye everybody, and peace.